well. Today I want to celebrate Summerween, which is the combination of summer, one of my favorite seasons, and Halloween, my favorite holiday. So honestly, the combination couldn't be any better. We're gonna decorate the house all spooky, make some tasty treats, hopefully no tricks, but we'll see, and just have a fun, spooky summertime. So thank you for hanging out with me, and I'll show you how I do it. So my first step to celebrate Summerween is to get in costume, of course. So I got my button eyes, which I can actually see through, which is awesome, and kind of a little scarecrow costume going on. I love dressing up, and I think it's important to pursue what you love to do, right? As long as it doesn't hurt anybody else, why not? So this is the first of likely many costumes today, but I'll show you kind of what we have in store and we can get started. So today we're gonna make some jalapeno poppers, some eyebats, some jack-o'-mellons, and some spooky popsicles. I'm excited to show you how we make everything, but first I think it's time for a costume change. Costume change complete, and I'm doing swimmingly. Now let's get started. So first I'm going to take all of my jalapenos and cut them in half. I didn't wear gloves, so be sure to wash your hands, and then fill them with cream cheese, of course. And then I wrapped them in bacon. I did cut the bacon in half because I was trying to conserve it, but I would recommend using a full piece. You can use pork or turkey or even that tasty vegan carrot bacon. Any of it will work. And then put it in the oven for about 35 minutes at 375. I did check them a few times, but once the bacon is done, they're pretty much good to go. Yum! These are so tasty. And if you remove all the seeds, they're not typically that spicy. I don't know if this is true for anybody else, but for me, lanterns are actually a pretty big part of Halloween. When I was a kid, we used to make our own out of a balloon and glue and tissue paper, and then we'd pop the balloon, which was terrifying, but make our own lantern. Then all of my class would go out behind the school in the field with our parents and parade with our little lanterns to guide our ancestors back home. It's believed Halloween and the days before and after are when the veil between our world and the afterlife are thinnest. So it's the most magical time of the year when you can talk to your ancestors, loved ones, anyone that's moved on. And I thought it'd be fun to kind of incorporate that and honor that tradition in Summerween. First things first, I'm going to set up this little lantern I got from the craft store. You just insert the middle bit and then clip in the sides. So now I have my little lantern, and we're gonna, if we don't catch it on fire first, we're gonna paint it and make our little eyebat. So for my eyebat, the very first step is to paint, well, the eyeball. I wanted to make it kind of a bright electric green. I thought that would kind of add to the fun, spooky nature. But the first step is to paint on a pupil. So I'm just using some black acrylic paint, and I'm going to fill it in with a pretty even layer. And then next I'm going to paint on the electric green. And I wanted it to take up most of the lantern to give it a true large eyeball effect. Then I'm going to take a Sharpie and draw on 4 pieces of construction paper, my little bat wing template, and I cut everything out and then separated the 4 pieces into 2 pieces per wing. Then I'm going to take the pieces and glue them together, making each wing a bit sturdier and just happier for my eyebat. Once everything is assembled, I'm going to hot glue them to my eyeball, making it, well, an eyebat. And I went ahead and folded the wings to give them a bit more dimension. Once everything is glued together, I took some dental floss and glued it to the top of the wing to the bottom to make them stand up. Okay, my eyebat is all finished. I'm pretty happy with how he turned out. The paper I got was a little bit more flimsy than I would ideally want, but I was able to use some dental floss and secure it along the back to make the wings a little bit more awake and alive. So he is ready to take flight in my house and be my next little spooky buddy. Now that my eyebat is in the air, I think it's time for a costume change. Ta-da! Now I am a bit drafty. The AC might be on, or I might be a ghost. Next up, we have carving our jack-o'-mellon, which I have right here. Ta-da! We're going to be carving this watermelon, which is my all-time favorite summer fruit, into our jack-o'-lantern or jack-o'-mellon. I've never done this before, so let's see how it goes and try it together. So first, I cut off the top of the watermelon, and then I went ahead and carved out all of the watermelon innards and saved them in a bowl to eat later. Once everything was carved out, I went ahead and drew on my cute little jack-o'-mellon face and carved everything out. Please be careful with this part. I also added in a little happy vampire smile. Okay, she's all carved and ready to go. I'm just gonna add a candle, and then we'll have our very own jack-o'-mellon. My jack-o'-mellon is all ready to go, and she looks quite happy with herself. Next, we have some tasty treats to make, but as always, I think it's time for our costume change. I'm feeling out of this world and ready to make some snacks to match. I'll show you how it's done. I'm going to take half a cup of dark cocoa powder and add a third cup pure maple syrup. Then I take a whole can of coconut cream and put everything in a blender and blend everything until nice and smooth. I added it all to my cute little popsicle molds. I got these from Amazon and they are amazing. Then I put everything in the freezer for 2 hours. Once it's done, pop it out and it's ready to either eat or decorate. Next, I'm going to turn my stove on to medium heat and take some white chocolate, about half a cup's worth, and then stir it till it's all melted. Once it's done, I'm going to take a spoon and put it in big globs on top of my fudgesicles. The more messy it is, honestly, the better, because we're going to make something a little monstrous out of these guys. I'm going to stick some cute edible eyeballs onto my fudgesicle, and the little monster is ready to go. Then for our ice cream pops, I'm taking some strawberry ice cream and I'm going to put it in the microwave for about 30 seconds. Once it's all melted, I'm going to pour it into my cute little molds and let it sit in the freezer for about 2 hours. Once they're all done, I'm going to pop them out and they're ready to decorate. I'm then taking a bar of chocolate. I'm going to put it in a microwave safe dish. And then I microwaved it on high for about 1 minute or until everything was nice and melted. Then with my spoon, I'm gonna kind of rapidly try to drizzle it on. When I went slow, it just slid right off. But I found if you do it fast, it works a lot better. And you can totally do like a spiderweb effect with this too. Yum! And then my happy ice cream popsicles are ready to go. Okay, everything's gonna get nice and cool in the freezer and be ready to eat in about 2 hours. The spooky popsicles are all done, and I think it's time for one final costume change. Ta-da! My last costume is complete with little horns, and we're almost ready to go. We have a few more things to do, and then we're going to be ready to celebrate Summerween. So stay tuned for the final show. So I thought I'd show you guys some of the decorations I did before we finish up. I'm just waiting for the popsicles to finish freezing for the very last time, and then we're ready. So I did all of this stuff you see behind me, which is not a ton, but I didn't want to go too spooky. I was trying to blend both summer and Halloween. So I've got this cactus, which is from Target. It's not real, don't worry. And then I have my little bat bust. This is Buzz. He's one of my favorite decorations. And then this I bought actually for my friend, but then she moved, and I've kept it. So this is the kitchen. I also have the eyebat and the banner above me, which you can see in the other shots, but I wanted to give you a tiny tour and a peek into just what I've been doing the past few hours. Now I'm gonna go ahead and get everything out and ready for the final celebration. Our last tasty treat is going to be my very own yummy watermelon lemonade. So I'm taking some of the watermelon juice from earlier and pouring it into a lemonade through a strainer to get out all the seeds, and voila! Okay, we're all done and ready to celebrate Summerween. The house is decorated. I'm decorated. We have our cute little eyebat, our jack-o-mellon. I made a watermelon lemonade. We have the jalapeno poppers, and of course, our spooky, tasty popsicles. So I'm ready to go. It just started to rain here, which couldn't be more perfect. I'm gonna go ahead and relax and maybe eat some laser candy and just have a nice night. I hope you all are doing super well, and until next time, bye.